everyone, welcome back to 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. We are continuing with episode 8 of our Mothership campaign, playing through Gradient Descent. My name is John. I am the warden for the evening, and tonight we have...
Hi, I'm David, and I'm playing a pile of slag currently.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ted. I'm playing Cromwell Dixon. The only thing that stands between that pile of slag and certain death.
Right. So
I'm here to help you, Mr. Android. I'm here to help.
What classes are you guys playing so everyone knows?
I'm a Teamster, boy.
And I am an android.
Cool. So this is our first dynamic duo of the new era of 3D6 Down the Line session. We are absent of both Mike, who would normally be playing Rick Sharp, the Marine, and Matt, who would be playing Thulsa Dew, the scientist. So we unfortunately don't have them around, but they're probably going to benefit the most from it because they don't have to suffer. But these two do. So
I like pain, though.
Yeah, suffering is our lot in life.
It is January 2nd, 2125. It is about 9:50 a.m., 10 minutes to 10. And as always, let's start things out with a lovely little Ben's check, shall we? Give us the Ben's score and tell me what you roll.
All right. It has been a hot minute. I am rolling D100.
Yep.
My current Ben's is 11.
You want to hit your score or higher to be safe.
Yeah. Okay, I'll roll right now. I got a 62, so I am indeed safe.
We're good.
Okay. My Ben score is 25. 25, and I'm now rolling my percentile dice, and I rolled an 86.
Oh, okay.
Look at this guy.
Sweet.
The first session where someone gets fucked up by the Bens, which is fantastic.
I needed a break, I tell you.
And give the lovely folks out there an update on your guys' stress scores.
I have a stress of 15 currently. I missed the other session. I missed was the rest and relaxation session.
My stress is currently an 11.
Okay, so Dixon's in the yellow. David is in the red. All right, so in typical 3D6 down the line fashion, we don't go for the verisimilitude thing where I have to figure out some way why two people are absent and David is suddenly back. It just happens because we have game playing to do. So you guys are currently on the engineering and support level, which is the lowest level of the deep, level 6 to be precise. You have heard rumor that there is a mysterious level 5 that you have no clue as to how to access that level. You went straight down from hell, which is level 4, to engineering and support level 6. But you didn't get very far. So a lot of stuff happened right when you kind of exited the elevator. You explored basically one room, which appeared to be like a real cramped former meeting room of some sort. That had all a bunch of like handholds on the walls and all that kind of good stuff. Lots of there was whiteboard on one wall that had a whole bunch of graffiti. You guys added your own graffiti to it. Some interesting stuff on the graffiti that you could.
One particularly offensive one that I plan to wipe off.
Which one was that? Oh, the fuck Androids one?
Yes.
Yeah. But the last one was Android liberation from every station.
I will note that Mike somehow in the defrag remembered that as Android supremacy, which is very different, Mike.
Yeah, freedom. I mean, that's the next step after freedom is the supremacy part, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so but
I'm a little puzzled by the kill people, fuck androids one, because there's different ways to interpret that one as well. And the obvious, like the literal, what it's literally saying is kill people and fuck androids, which is not a way to get more androids or people. So I'm not really that we know of. That's true. I saw Blade Runner 2049. But if it's kill people and the hell with androids, who the hell would even write that? Like it's just a weird thing to write.
There's a lot of sane people on this ship.
That's true. That's a good point. Maybe I'm the crazy one.
Well,
did we kill your flow, John? Were you going to say something else before we got going? Sorry.
Well, I just want to comment that like the response to that particular line of graffiti, "Kill people / fuck androids," was someone obviously responded real hard, man, writing shit on a whiteboard.
Oh, I gotcha.
There's a slash in
That's
there.
what I mean. You know,
Let me add that in.
but what was I going to say? But the most important thing, of course, that you actually saw in the meeting room was a return of Helen St. George, who doesn't seem to have any memory of you at all, and seemed to be in almost identical circumstances, except for the location of where you encountered her the first time up on reception, where she was stuffed into a locker. But her whole story about being, hit on the back of the head by her partner, Little John, having the artifact that they had found together stolen by Little John, the whole 9 yards. She just repeated that whole thing with no memory, complete foggy, like zero recognition of who you guys were. While you were having that conversation, you actually heard whispered voices, not whispered, but people talking outside. Thulsa went out there while the rest of you guys were locked and loaded and ready to unleash on them, because they were talking about retrieving Helen. And Thulsa went out and talked to them. Ended up that they are members of an ex-troubleshooter team that have now switched over to becoming an asset recovery team, freelance mercs basically, called Romanoff Company. Carr, the leader, Tomac is a female like scout, and Zebra, who was a male. I think he's like the demolitions guy or something like that. But anyways, heavily armed, obviously very capable, friendly enough, right? They become sort of a neutral stance sort of thing, but they didn't get hostile once Thulsa. Mostly thanks to Thulsa's charming them. But they give a lot of info. Thulsa basically sent them up the elevator, saying that last time they saw Helen St. George was up in the reception. So they're like, okay, we're going to go check that out. But with sort of definitely like a look like, you better not be lying to us sort of thing, which Thulsa definitely was. So there's a version of the truth, I guess, right? It's lies of omission. So that is the deal. They mentioned that, Thulsa determined that where they most likely came from into the elevator landing was on Miro. If we switch over there real quick, is the door on the where you have placed it on the right side. Just remember, abstracted does not necessarily mean that door is on the right side of the actual room, but it's just where you guys placed it. Right. So egresses, again, you have the lift that takes you back up to Hell. If you take it all the way up, you can go all the way back to reception, which is pretty nice. And then you have a door into the meeting room where you were. The door to the right, which is where Romanoff Company came from, and then there was an air duct that was large enough for a human to fit into. Remember, I will always telegraph a duct that's of that size.
Love a duct.
And you did go. Someone checked that out. Maybe been Thulsa, actually. I think, right?
Thulsa had prepared the duct for easier entry by loosening several screws.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
but
then,
did not go in.
I think she opened it and like just smelled it, and I said that there was definitely like a very faint whiff of chemical acridness coming from there. Is kind of what I remember, right? Something like that. Which I believe
so. You said chemical. Yeah, not. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the deal. What would you guys like to do? They have literally just like dinged and like the elevator door shut, and they're going up. Yeah. Helen is obviously extremely grateful, and thanks you guys for not giving her up. She's psyched.
All right. Not to become a story gamer, but can we suppose that I am brought back to consciousness in this room?
Sure.
Is that appropriate?
Yeah.
All right. By some tinkering, and
I start kicking him until he starts functioning.
And
hard reboot.
Like 401k, not 401k.
No, Windows 11.
His directives all like flow before his eyes, and one of them is like you just see like real briefly like kill all crew members.
Well, John, look, the short circuits happen. So
exactly.
I jolt awake. I look very bewildered. I turn to Dixon and I go, "Oh, hello. Who are you?" my name is Deleuze. What's your name?
Oh my God. They never should have built your operating system on Tristos.
You're a fucking horrible therapist, David.
Yeah. Whatever. Quit clowning. We got stuff to do.
Huh?
Quit clowning.
I don't understand. What? What's your name, friend?
You know what my name is. I can tell you're being a goofball. Cut it out.
Doing. Dixon?
There we go.
You killed me! What?
I didn't do it. No.
Yeah, that was the
And I
other
look
guy.
over at the board. I look over the board and see the anti-android scrawling all over it, and I get deeply upset and I kick it with my foot as hard as I can in a rage and shatter the board.
Well, I don't think it shatters, but yeah,
You know, whatever.
You could definitely like smear some of that stuff off. Yeah.
But all of that to say, with my terrible acting, there is some indication that another persona, prior duplicate, who knows, another fragmentation of my drive named Deleuze exists now, and you should know that.
Deleuze. No. Deleuze. I start doing that just to irritate you.
I love it.
Okay.
All right, so
Helen has a nail gun, just so you know.
yeah.
Yeah, we better kill her.
The best friend we've met in this entire godforsaken place. I will
Just roll my
handily murder every single one of you if you put a single finger on her.
Pull my nail gun and wipe my initials off the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Not cool, man.
So you think? Do you trust your memory, Dixon? So
I have recording.
I still
I
have the harpoon gun. You have a pistol though, right, Ted?
still have a revolver. Yeah.
Okay,
six
so we have. All right. So I'm gonna ask Helen. Helen, would you like to join us for a bit longer, that we may all get through this area safely?
Yeah, you're fucking right. I would like to stick around a little bit more. I've got 3 fucking mercs hunting me down for some godforsaken reason. Fucking Little John gave me up. I don't know where he got the money or what he promised them,
Yeah.
but it sounds like he's a little bit worse for the wear. Listen, if you want to know how to get to where I last saw Little John, I can point the way. It's a long fucking journey. I'll tell you that much. It's riddled with danger. If that's where you want to go, the skeleton works. Otherwise, I'm happy to just tag along with whatever motives you got.
I think for now it might be wise for us to know what's going on around us. But you seem a little agitated, Helen. I'm going to pull out a cigarette. I'm going to light one for myself. I'm going to light one for her. I'm going to look very meaningfully at Helen, knowing that she has no memories. Right?
Yeah.
Pass her a cigarette and ask if she wants to have a smoke with me, and see if there's any glimmer or hesitation or sense memory that comes from the specific brand of cigarette that we have shared 2 or 3 times prior already.
You do not pick up anything, but she
right.
gladly takes. She goes, brilliant, cheers, and she
Yeah. All right.
she sucks like down half of it, just like she did the last time.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
right.
that's it's the spot right there. All right.
Helen.
Well, I want to look into this duct, Ted. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I want to just confirm where the skeleton works is, Helen.
Oh, sure. Sorry.
Skeleton works. That's where they put the bones together of all the androids they make in the factory. So yeah, it's a part of level 3, the largest part of the deep, right there in the center where it bulges out, right?
And do you know how to get to that?
I do. I know the route that Little John and I took, but it's a doozy. I'll tell you that much.
Can you just give me a starting point, just so I can kind of be thinking about it?
Sure. Let's whip out your map there, eh? So she points at. She kind of jabs her finger at certain points. Right here, we got reception, right where we started, where Arcadia can drop you off. You take a lift down to Eden, level 2.
Yep.
And there's a maintenance access shaft that goes down to the factory floor. Only problem is, the only way you can get there is through the Chosen King. All doors are sealed leading to that access shaft, and you've got to get through the Chosen King to get there. What's more, that maintenance shaft is right next to the fucking labyrinth. Not in the labyrinth, but near enough. Either way, you're going to have to charm the Chosen King in order to get access. That's what we did.
So wait, you go through the court of the Chosen King to reach the access hatch.
That's right. And it'll take you down to level 3.
And there's another exit out of there that goes to a labyrinth?
Near the maintenance shaft. The entrance to the labyrinth is nearby, of course. Not that you're going to get any access to that, considering how many chosen and fallen are there. But just thought I'd make a note that it's
level
dangerous. So you get down into level 3. You make your way towards the freezer. And then the freezer, right near the freezer, that's where you're going to gain access to the skeleton works.
And that's where Little John is holed up. Why the hell's he hiding?
Well, that's where he was last time I saw him.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you don't want to deal or negotiate with the chosen king, I understand. There's another way. That's the way that I described, that's the main route that most divers are going to take if they want to access the factory in general. Remember, their factory is the largest part of the deep. But it's known that there's an even more dangerous route that can be accessed via docking at the loading dock on this floor. Engineering support. Arcady knows about it. If he didn't tell you about it, he probably had a reason.
Mm-hmm. There's a loading dock here on engineering.
On engineering, aye. Then you move into the receiving, and you take the lift up to the part of the factory known as disassembly.
We should definitely take David there.
Now listen, you want to get to this skeleton works, it's going to require a hazard suit, all right?
Not just a vacuum suit.
The moment that you get into the main part of the skeleton works, there's not a lot of... Anytime you're in the factory in general, you got to understand that it wasn't built for human beings to work. Even when Cloudbank was in charge, the factory was all automated. So it's only the very barest amount minimum necessary for human habitation. Almost none at all. Once you're in the workings of the factory itself, completely automated. Very, very hazardous to human to human life. Lots of zero G, lots of no oxygen, lots of moving parts that don't give a damn about you. You understand?
But the haz suit in specific because of the radiation, or will a vacuum suit work for all of it?
Bingo, friend. Both, actually. So you're going to need it because there's somewhere, I have a feeling, that there's just be based upon Romanoff's description of what Little John's state was, that there's likely an active radiation source somewhere nearby in the skeleton works. And in addition, I remember this from being a Little John, in order to go deeper into the skeleton works, you need a haz suit to traverse a pair of coolant exhaust vents that'll lead you deeper into the works. Otherwise, you ain't going into the skeleton works.
Got it. And where do we get a haz suit?
You got fucking me. We found them.
All right.
Where is my haz suit anyways? Kind of looks around.
Question, Helen. Radiation seems to be abundant in areas of this place. Do you have any sense that the confusion many of us feel after staying here long enough might have anything to do with exposure to it?
Jesus H. Christ, I hope not.
I wonder if there's more leaks than we know.
I don't know if it's the bends that you're talking about. I don't know. I would doubt that it has something to do with the radiation poisoning. I feel like we'd see some more like physical manifestations of it. I mean, to be fair, like the only time I've ever heard intimated that there might be a radiation leak is after just what the conversation that Thulsa just had with Romanoff.
I'm thinking a lot about these artifacts as radiated objects now. But yeah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, don't forget that
well.
Tomac gave Thulsa, although Thulsa has them, so you don't, some radiation pills as well.
Yeah. After leaving,
we would need them to go see Little John. Wasn't that it? That why he gave them to him or something?
That's what. Yeah, she basically said. Yeah.
All right, that is really helpful, Helen. Thank you. That's really super cool to tell us that. I appreciate it. I really do. Now, David, you said something about a duct, and it is just so happens that I am 100% in agreement about this duct thing because all these rooms that are around here, that is a good way to run into more Romanovs.
Precisely.
But a duct, well, I bet we could learn all kinds of things in a duct, like what it means to live in terror and how to die in a very enclosed space. But I think
how to asphyxiate on poison gas. Yeah.
That's another one. But I think we should do it anyway.
Okay.
I think now is the right time to get in the duct.
Yeah. If we lead Helen over there and sort of open up the duct, John, and identify that sort of acrid smell. Helen, do you have any sense of what that smell is? Kind of chemical smell?
Doesn't smell good. I mean, it's not very strong. If I had to put a, kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Sudaflesh farms a little bit. The whole kind of formaldehyde sort of smell.
Okay, so it's not mustard gas. That's all I needed to know. All right, well, I'm happy to lead the way if you would like. Otherwise, Dixon, you can feel free. You are a man of ducts.
I am a man of
a hairy shit. What's his name in fucking Brazil? Oh no.
Oh yeah, Harry
De Niro. Harry.
Yeah.
Fuck, one of the best characters of all time. My mind's totally blanking.
It's Harry, right?
Harry
It is
something.
Harry. Yeah.
It's Harry, but it's a 1-2 name that works best. But anyway, you seem the type, so I'm happy to let you read as well.
Harry Tuttle.
Yeah, right.
Harry Tuttle.
Harry Tuttle, because Buttle. Hence the mistake.
Yeah,
okay,
the
well, I was
typewriter.
going to propose going first, partly because I'm armed, partly because I have one armor point with my vac suit, and partly because I have a vac suit.
Smart. Okay.
And headlamps. So I'm not normally given to acts of wild bravery, but in this case, it's the only logical thing. Plus, you probably haven't even come fully online yet. I bet your self-defense mechanisms aren't working. Your extra tentacles won't come out in combat situations. All that kind of weird stuff that you've got. So it's up to me.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Cool.
All right.
Okay.
So
So
hoist me up, and I'll get my headlamps on, and I'll get my head into the duct and really look.
okay, so all of you guys have to traverse it like with your hands and knees. If you're in there, like you're not walking through a duct, of course. Because Dixon is leading and Dixon is wearing a vac suit, the rest of you other two cannot see anything because Dixon is having a very tough time traversing because it is very bulky and it's very cramped space. So you're slowly wending your way through this maintenance duct and making all sorts of noise because of the vac suit as well. So
I'm
bang,
gonna
bang, bang.
like clump along like this. Got
Yeah,
my
exactly.
revolver out, my headlamps. I'm like dun 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 dun
Right.
dun 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 dun
Yeah.
into the
Yep.
comms.
Have a few laughs, and you and you traverse through. So doesn't seem to be a lot of branching passageways or anything like that. It's pretty much a clear path, but you are kind of going around corners and all that sort of stuff for quite some time. But basically maintaining the same level. You don't feel like you're actually changing in elevation in any sort of way. The smell does get stronger as you continue forward. And, don't mind me. Nothing happening.
Yeah. Wandering monsters, carrion crawlers.
Okay.
There's going to be some pseudo-flesh fetuses that come to eat your face.
Okay. So eventually, after about like 10 minutes or so, you crawl your way to what appears to be another duct opening. But the grate is there, like in place.
Is there any... oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yep.
I was going to ask if there's any light emanating through the ducts bars.
There is actually, yeah. So you'll see the light but before you approach the actual entrance. But the actual duct. What's the word? Grill. The grill. Yeah.
I'm just going to indicate to Dixon, hey, Dixon, cut your lights so that anyone that might be in there doesn't see it flashing around.
Yeah, good idea. As I approach the
We
duct,
can get an eye on them from above.
Yeah. Okay. So you, Dixon, you approach the duct with your lights off. The light is shining through it. Now it's a kind of duct where there's like slats, like vertical, like horizontal slats, basically, right? So it's not mesh; it's more like slats. So that means that you know how it is. Like you can't stare directly ahead; you have to kind of like peer down through. You know what I'm saying? So you never kind of get like a very clear view. But what you do see when you sort of peer downwards is that you see that it looks to be a relatively normal sized room that has again, similar to the rest of the level so far, like a very utilitarian floor, metal, steel, that whole thing. There's no like paneling or anything that makes it look nice or anything like that. There is first thing you notice is that the steel floor itself has that sort of grippy mesh sort of thing, right? Like the raised tooth sort of floor, right? There are spots along it that have signs of having been damaged heavily by acid. Like think like the dripping acid from Alien, like where they're following the drip all the way through the floors, right? Like that, like so, like major corrosive damage in numerous spots on the floor. In addition, there the light in the room, which is steady and ambient, obviously some sort of electric light, is glinting off of filaments that you only see that only kind of appear in your vision when you sort of shift your vision when you're trying to change your angle a little bit, like the light hits them and your eyes can kind of pick them up, but they're very, very thin and only a little bit thicker than fishing line. But you get the impression that because they're glinting, that they're actually made out of very, very fine steel, and they are in the air almost everywhere in the room.
Well, I won't ask questions for Dixon. Or is there room enough for me to be looking through this as well? I assume not, right?
No,
Yep.
he's taking up the entire thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So here's what I want to do. Like I assume, okay, first of all, the duct that I'm looking through, and I'm looking down on the floor, do I appear to be looking from a like middle of the wall duct or a high up duct? Or a low duct for that matter?
Middle of the wall. So like you could if you can manage to open it, you could probably just swing your legs out and then just drop down maybe a few feet, like no damage at all. No.
Right. But more to my point, because of the angle and the height of my thing, there's a lot of the room I'm not seeing.
That's correct.
Is that correct? Okay.
That's correct. Yeah.
And the panel presumably is similar or identical to the one we just went through, which means that I would know without having to touch it whether or not those slats are louvered or can be adjusted or anything like that.
So they can be louvered with like a little lever on the outside as well. Of course, the screws and stuff like that are on the outside.
Right, but they are hinged. I might be able to move them a little bit just to gain a little bit more vision, or are they really fixed because you need the mechanical process?
No, you could probably force it a little bit, but you have a feeling that if you did so, just to, that they may squeak a little bit if you're worried about noise, that sort of thing. But you could definitely make the move.
Is there any indication of corrosion on the vent itself that I can see from behind Dixon?
Vent just has dust, if anything, but everything else is fine.
And so we didn't pass any fans or other air handling equipment.
You probably did. It's just not detailed. But there's no other way to get around. Like this is like a one-way passage.
No, that's fine. I just if the presence of air handling equipment exists, then it is in fact a duct. If it's just a tube, that's suspicious.
No, okay. it was definitely yeah. It's not meant for humans to be in here except for maybe maintenance, but that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Miles O'Brien. Sorry.
Right. It's the Jeffries tube of Mothership. The duct panel is or is not removable from the inside. Is this like a situation where I have to kick it out?
You probably would, yes. Unless that would be the most obvious solution. But yeah, the screws are on the outside.
Okay. All right. So if I scoot right up to the vent and like try and lift a bend or flex slightly one of the louvers, can I get a little more visibility of the room without making a ruckus?
Yeah, I'm going to say that unless you really bend it out of shape, you're not going to be able to ever see the ceiling. Let's put it that way.
Fine.
Okay. But because they're slanted downwards, right? But if you kind of pry it a little bit and kind of look, I'll give you this. Like it's definitely a person scale room, like a smaller room. And what you do see is that across the length of it, like basically across the entire thing, you do see that there is and I can never remember what that symbol is, so let me check. It's a door. Just give me 1 second. That is an airlock door. Bulkhead door. Sorry, we're calling it a bulkhead door. Yeah.
Okay. Bulkhead door. Okay.
But you can see like there's this intricate web of these steel filaments that are basically crisscrossing the room entirely. Like especially you in your vac suit, it would be like impossible to not hit one of those.
If I'm looking down the louvers and I can kind of maybe see the wall that we're on, can I see how these filaments are attached to the walls? Are they independent wires? Is it one wire that's strung around on nodes?
No, it appears to be multiple steel wires. They appear to be affixed to the wall in the floor with some sort of adhesive that you're not aware of. Like you can't really tell. Like they just appear to like be on the walls. Again, you're not seeing the ceiling. You're not seeing the ceiling, and some. You see that there are some filaments that are actually dangling, like loose and flaccid.
Yep. Oh,
And
nice.
those spots where some of them are dangling that in that manner also seem to correspond with where the corroded acid holes are in the floor.
It's dripping down the filament. It's running down the steel filament for sure.
Judging from what I'm looking at, I see steel wire and what is some kind of perhaps a construction adhesive or something like that. Am I looking at a known repurposed sort of industrial material, or am I looking at something completely mysterious to me?
The filament?
This gauge and type of filament, perhaps like
you've never seen anything like it.
Okay.
It's actually, as a teamster, you'd probably be pretty impressed by like you've never seen steel this thin, but apparently that's strong at the same time, right?
Yeah.
I have a strange question. With an expertise in mathematics, might I have a sense of the perfect sort of triangulation for leverage if we wanted to say, pull this door inward to break it at a weak point? Does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
I know what you're saying. I'd say
I don't know how to articulate it well.
Engineering.
Yeah, no, I know it's engineering. Yeah, but yeah,
it's a good idea.
I was trying to think. I was thinking we could try to like lever it with like my harpoon gun or a cord and try to like reduce the amount of effort it takes. Yeah,
I've got a paracord and a crowbar, and if I could hook it up and pass the line back to you guys, you could, pull. We're gonna make noise, but we could get it open.
Yeah, my goal is to maybe prevent it from falling to the floor. Yes, and I'd rather like bend it inward.
Well, I was wondering, and this was about to be the question I was going to ask. There's nothing about this filament that suggests to me ultra sharp monofilament situation, right? Like it's too thick to be something that if you simply touch it, your hand falls off.
That you're not sure of.
That I'm not sure. So this is where I'm thinking kicking it in might be an advantage because if it hits the wires and falls into pieces, then we know we've got a very, very dangerous room full of monofilament.
And then the spider-like ghost in the machine will be crawling through that tube right after us.
That is the downside of that plan. Absolutely. If it's lost Queen Demon Web Pits kind of alarm system, we're humped.
So
question. I understand that there's like a lever on the other side to open the duct. Yes. But a lever would have
the slats to
louver.
The slats.
That's all it does.
Oh, to louver the slats.
Yeah.
I see. So there's no sort of like fixture or hinge on the interior of this.
No.
Yeah, that makes more sense now. Okay, cool.
It's not. I mean, it's just a cheap piece of metal. Like you know what I mean. Like,
it's fine.
Opening the grate is not a big deal. It's just that unless you have some sort of other idea, there's almost no way to do it without making some noise.
Yeah.
Well, I have my toolkit, which would have a little sort of small handheld hacksaw blade. Mm-hmm. I might be able to like slide through and saw 2 of the 4 screws and then bend it up, something like that.
You can't fit your hand through the louvers.
No, because the side of the wall and the panel have to be bolted. I go between the 2 and saw the bolt.
I see. Okay, right.
I mean, I'm speculating on this construction.
Yeah, I buy that. Yeah.
Something like that would probably be possible. I could saw a number of bolts tediously and slowly, but perhaps not with a great deal of noise.
So Dixon and David, you guys would have to kind of be talking about this as you're.
Yeah, we're discussing.
Yeah,
so we're making noise. I don't think silence is going to be easy. Yeah,
it's not. It's not that. It's the time. So as you guys are discussing that, Dixon, you actually hear it. I don't think David would because he's behind you, and so is Helen. He was getting frustrated and impatient.
Yes,
Dixon, you hear in the room, out of sight, somewhere up above. You hear a slight, very faint. Definitely in the room though. You hear a slight sucking sound, just like a.
Yeah,
and then you hear it again.
Organic.
Oh yeah.
Not like some sort of pump that's running improperly.
But then, as you freeze and your heart starts to pump, dripping into your field of vision on the other side of the grate is a long string of what looks to be saliva, like some sort of clear, drippy sort of thing. And then it breaks all of a sudden, like right in front of your face, hits the ground, and you hear like a and smoke, like this sort of awful, bilious, acrid smoke sort of billows up and into your nostrils and causes your nose hairs to fry a little bit. I need you to make me a fear save, please.
Just me, yeah?
Yep, just you.
Fear save. All right, my fear score is a 35, and I want to get under this, right?
Yes, correct.
Me and Helen are playing blackjack in the tunnel behind him.
I am pleased to report that I have rolled a 16, John.
So you made it. Okay, great.
Under 35, because acid saliva spiders are nothing new to a Teamster from Montana in the future. This is normal, and I grew up on a saliva ranch with the spider.
Well, basically,
near Butte, Montana, I assume. Sorry, John.
You had assessed that there was some sort of something very wrong in the room, and this was just basically confirmation that is indeed the case. So you managed to not freak out.
So, my guess is that it is aware we are here. And I'm tempted now to just say the hell with it and to bend a louver to look at what we're looking at. How do you feel about that, David?
I'm not against it. And maybe I played too much Half-Life growing up, but it really evokes for me a static organism that probably pulls things up rather than like a spider that's going to crawl down. I could be terribly wrong on that accord, but if the sucking noises like that, were the case, just imagine like a, pulsing, Venus flytrap type thing. That's right. Anyway, take a look. Why not?
Okay, I'll pull my crowbar up, John. I'm going to stick it through the slats and just hoink it down like that, so that some of them bend up enough that I can see where that drip came from.
Okay, cool. So obviously, thunderous noise or as you crank it open, it completely separates the thing. Not wide enough for you to get through, just to be clear, but you definitely bend it out of shape, and you peer upwards. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. When you peer upwards, you can see that the rest of the chamber, so the entire chamber now is filled with this filament, this steel filament, crisscrossing everywhere. Not enough to obscure vision, but just kind of picture it but it's just enough that you would not be able to navigate it successfully just by being careful, right? Almost every step, you would have to be careful about the filament if you think the filament is dangerous. However, what you do see is an immediate danger, because studded on the ceiling appear to be 12 randomly spaced but attached to the ceiling globules of what looks to be pink pulsating flesh, right? With patches of skin, some hairy, some not, on them as well, but completely shapeless. They would average amongst the 12 of them probably about a foot in diameter each, but they're and they're attached to the ceiling, and they sort of are like a convex, generally in shape, but they're just sort of like mounds of flesh, right? And they have like a horrible sort of sphincter opening directly in that bulge at the bottom, that is glistening with wetness.
Yeah.
Right.
I thank you, Half-Life. I love you.
Yeah, that's a good call, David.
And one is like right above you, like right, obviously the one that just dripped.
All right. I would like to ask Helen to pass up the nail gun, which has close range, which means I can probably hit it. Right? Because close is
it's close. Yep.
5 to 10 meters. So I've only got 6 bullets in the revolver. I don't want to waste it on a globule, but if she passes up that nail gun, I can disable the safety and try and take a pop at it with the nail and just see what happens when you hit one. Might be we could just kill them all.
She's like, you can hear her mumble behind David. She's like, well, that doesn't fucking sound good.
It's not good at all.
She hands you up the nail gun.
All right.
Yeah, I'll pass it along.
I'll prop it up in the louver, get a nice stable shot, disable the nail gun tip safety, and take a pop at not necessarily the closest, but whichever of these things I have the cleanest bead on.
Okay. I'm going to say because you're not like in a really stressful situation. You know what I mean? Like like nothing's attacking you or anything like that. That you can like really take your time and aim, and so you can automatically hit. Nice. So, right. Okay. So you aim with the nail gun. Nail goes shooting out, and just pierces that mound of flesh, or like one of the mounds of flesh. It doesn't. There is no like vocalization or anything like that, right? But the thing obviously reacts violently. It explodes in a burst of corrosive acid, right? And it basically drops from the ceiling with a wet sputch onto the ground, and almost immediately, in a haze of acrid smoke, disappears through the floor, leaving a huge gaping smoking hole where, not huge, but a hole where it went through. As its passage from the ceiling down to the ground, it also breaks a number of the filaments.
Exactly what I was hoping would happen.
That goes springing sort of.
Now, John,
mm-hmm.
because you're so handsome and you have such a good voice.
Yeah,
he's going to ask me to retcon something before it hits the ground. I want to do this.
No.
I want you to say sputch again.
I want you to say that is now an access point to a lower floor.
Oh well, no, it's not that big. Like as I said, it's a foot wide.
Well, we have 11 more, baby.
No, we're on the lowest floor, David. The access to the lowest floor is space after this. So no, we don't want that.
All right. Well, keep firing.
I think so too. I think that's the way to go. So I will
just keep within the duct. So if anything falls, you don't get splashed.
Yeah,
I would intermittently shoot them so there isn't an accumulation of that acrid smoke to like a critical density.
Yeah. So John, I will do that. I will randomly, so that I'm not all concentrating all the acid in one spot and intermittent for timing for the smoke and so on. But I will attempt to take out the remaining horrible bulging sphincter things.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to say that it's going to definitely take a turn to do that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, this is, I think, worth it.
Dixon, I think you should rename your nail gun the Plug.
The Plug?
This is her nail gun, right?
Well, I thought it was mine, but I'll give it back to her when I'm done.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Okay, so a nail gun, I'll give her the full capacity, so there's 32. So if you're going to take your time and hit all of them, it's going to be 12. So that's going to be 20. So it has 20 left. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, that would be a good indicator as to whether it was mine originally, because I fired one nail out of it. If I check the magazine, is there a missing nail?
No.
Damn. The fuck. I wonder if there's multiple Helens, all with the same memory core.
I think Helen's human. I think she's got the bends. I think she's got the disorientation that'll doom us all eventually. I don't know why you're so worried about her being an android. And even if she was, I'd love her still.
It's not the point. That's not the point. My point is that if she is an android, is she one android that keeps getting reset on our path? Or is she 20 androids and we're going to keep running into Helens around here? And if that is Monarch putting them in our path intentionally as part of his experimentation plan.
Right. So your 12 shots have dropped these weird pseudo flesh, like jellyfish sort of things onto the ground, all leaving holes in the ground. But more importantly, breaking enough of the steel webs that you think that you, with extra care and extra time, you may be able to traverse the room with relative safety, because you have to both navigate the wires and also the corrosive acid holes in the ground.
Right. Okay. As the room, I think you said, but I just want to clarify, the room is otherwise empty. No cabinets, furniture, desks, large barrels of baking soda, things like that.
Yeah, that's correct. You're not really quite sure what the purpose of is. Again, it's sort of like a mesh floor with grip, for gripping with work boots and all that kind of stuff. But it may just be passage, passage through into another area. As I said, there is a single door here, and that is an airlock door, a bulkhead door on the far wall.
Okay. Oh man, my Miro is like acting really weird, John. I might need to reload it. Room of acid pustules. Is that a good name for it? I think it's a good name for it.
Perfect.
Oops, wrong.
You could definitely see, because you took your time aiming at all of them, so you got like a really good look, that they definitely appear to be made out of pseudo-flesh based upon the other instances of pseudo-flesh that you saw on Eden.
Right. Okay, so we're gonna draw a line there. Okay, and there is an exit out of here on the other side, right?
An airlock. A bulkhead, sorry.
A bulkhead.
I keep saying that the wrong way.
Yeah, it's all good. All right. Is it fair to say that we have shimmied into the room safely, perhaps along the wall below the vent, so we can all get a gander?
If you like, yep.
Yeah, so I will kick the vent out of the way so we can get into the room, dropping down carefully. I'm a little curious whether these wires are independently dangerous, but not so curious to touch them, I think.
Fair enough. Cool. It's time for our first break, right? It might be a good juncture.
Yes, it is actually. We're about 3 minutes shy, but yeah, we might as well.
Okay, good timing.
Cool. So we'll let them think about what they want to do next, and we will be right back. Okay, we are back. Bladders empty, beers full. All right, so you tidily handled the immediate danger that you saw in the room. And you have dropped down into the room itself and clanked onto the floor. There is still that very strong, acrid smell. There are still a number of wires that are crisscrossing the room, but based upon where those jellyfish basically flopped, you have a zigzaggy path that's fairly easy to see that you can navigate. So I'm not going to make you roll, as long as you go slow and that no danger presents itself while you're in the room, that sort of thing, which is, you never know.
So the wires, now that I can see them better, the wires are like adhesive at both ends?
So the wires appear to be, yes, adhesive at both ends, yeah. There's some sort of sticky, gummy substance that you've never seen before that has them firmly attached to the wall, to wherever they're floor, ceiling, walls, the whole thing, to keep them nice and taut. Yeah.
Are there any egresses or details above us? I know there's a bulkhead door across from us, but
or other ducts?
I know there's the bulkhead door, and the duct appears to be the only way out of here. So assuming that the duct is not a normal way of passage, this normally would have been like a dead end coming from the bulkhead. The bulkhead also has a very small, like a thick glass viewport, sort of at eye level, sort of thing.
Oh,
good. I'll sneak over there and look through.
Okay, so you're going carefully, avoiding those wires. Now, David, when you make your way over to the door, okay, remember it's a thick bulkhead door, the whole crank and all that sort of thing, right? And you peer through the door, which you can see that there's like light on the other side, and that light is suddenly obscured instantly because some sort of awful shape passes by the window, blocking it, and thumps against the door, causing you to jump back in fear and alarm as you see a hideous visage appear in the window. It is an emaciated, what appears to be like a torso, like an android torso of like a human torso, but instead of normal 4 limbs of a human, it has 6 articulated scything blades for limbs, and its head, which used to be a human head, has had the bottom jaw removed, its eyes replaced with multiple eyes all across the head. The lower jaw has been replaced by what appears to be a surgical syringe proboscis, which is jutting out where a tongue would be lolling from the top half of a jaw. Right? And on its back is a huge nodule, like a massive sort of like thick sack on the back of it that is emitting a thin string of steel wire, and all of its faceted eyes look at you, and it's that the needle proboscis basically like scrapes across the metal like, and it bangs against the wall.
I flick at the bird
a number of times.
Well, there's your spider. I flick at the bird, and
The wheel, David, like the opener wheel sort of thing, moves a little bit.
Oh, but I thought I had blades for arms. Can it grab the wheel?
It's doing something.
Give me a crowbar.
Yep, I hand it to him.
I'm going to wedge it between two rungs of the wheel to try to prevent any rotation.
Dave, I need you to make a fear save first, though.
Yeah, I should think so. I had to make
know
a
you, the person, are cool and
wire.
calm and collected, but it's not a pleasant thing to see right in your face.
All right. I have an 88 fear.
Oh,
So, fingers crossed. I rolled a 13. So
Okay.
I am...
You're good.
So
Okay,
I jam this in to try to like prevent any rotation on the wheel.
Okay. It crashes against the wheel. There is a you see like thick steel, right? There is when it crashes the next time, there's like a noticeable dent like protrudes out from the door.
When it's winding up and then crashing back into it, can I get a glimpse of whatever lies behind it?
Yeah. So it appears to be a personal size room. There is it's almost beautiful like what you see because it's brilliantly lit by what looks to be it's a relatively large room, not an industrial scale, but larger than the room that you were in right now. And there is a glowing electronic grid pattern which is all over the walls, like very sort of Tron-esque, right? Just like very geometric pattern, but all like brightly lit, like whoosh, the entire room.
oh boy.
Maybe
What
we
should call
found
this room?
the way to the secret server.
You can also see that this room as well has steel wires crisscrossing it. Not too surprising. But at the far end of the room, of course, the far end, there appears to be a normal door.
Okay. Well, Dixon.
Come on. All right, so I have my thoughts.
We should maybe obscure the window so it can't see through it if we decide to do anything on this side. Do you have anything to block the window? You got some spray paint?
I have assorted tools. Probably the best thing I've got is like a Sharpie or something like that, which is kind of tedious and time consuming to do that.
I have a tarp that I brought from the camp, and I could hold the tarp up and you could nail it.
A steel door?
I guess you couldn't. Well, to the wall.
So you cover the whole door with
yeah, just like hang the two nails at the top just to obscure the.
We're gonna lose my crowbar, aren't I? Oh man. All right, so we've got a thing on the other side of the door that sounds pretty violent. The chances of negotiating with it are, I suspect, extremely low.
I think we should try to go ahead.
Does the wire in its sack, John, appear to be the same wire that's in this room?
Yep.
Okay, so it's a weird.
It bangs again against the door, and another lump appears.
I think if we're going to do anything, we have to set a trap for it, and our best bet is probably to try to get it to fall into one of the acidic holes if there's like an accumulation that's wide enough, but I don't know if there is. Right,
between each one is separate from each other, and they're 1 foot each.
Yeah. I have my harpoon gun, which does 2d10, body or stunned with 1d5 shock, and it's a harpoon. So there's a tether aspect there. But
Pretty cool.
That is contingent on an element of surprise, which we might have now that it can't immediately see. However, I don't know what position we would take to do so. That would be advantageous to us. Other than the
What I
duct.
would suggest for that is that if it's likely to come in and try and get us, it's going to keep pounding on this door till it breaks through.
Yes.
But that could give us time to go all the way back down the ductwork and set up in the elevator reception there with a pistol and a nail gun and a harpoon gun and just blast the shit out of it as it's coming down the corridor. Down the duct, I mean.
We don't have any explosives, right?
I don't. No.
Okay.
I mean, I could probably rig something up by sacrificing my own oxygen supply, which I'm not quite desperate enough to do right this minute.
But what if this is the way to Monarch's server and we've just found the most crucial secret of the deep, Dixon?
I'm not discounting that possibility. I'm saying that let's think of something else before I cripple my vac suit. I do have some steel cable. We could
I don't think we have a lot of time is the thing.
You don't.
Thud against the door again.
Yeah.
Why don't we retreat back to the duct as we were discussing this, maybe?
I think that's the thing to do. We
Helen, jump in the duct first, and I'll give her a boost to jump
You
in.
don't need to fucking tell me twice. I don't know what you're fucking farting around here for.
Helen, you don't have a grenade or anything like that, do you?
If only.
All right.
But
Yeah, I think that's the thing to do. Is let's get going back down the duct.
things like this best avoided. You're actually trying to think of some way to hurt the thing? Fuck that.
Well,
There's another option.
You must have mistaken yourselves for heroes or something.
Yeah, there's another option, which is we could try to. I think that's not a bad idea. I think we should try to not engage with it, Ted, but hide from it and then sneak back through the duct behind it once it's past us at whatever juncture makes sense.
Yeah, if it actually follows us down the duct,
Mm-hmm.
then absolutely, I think we should do that.
But here's what I think we should do. Okay, here's my pitch. Let's run back through the duct. Let's open the door into the cramped room with metal handholds where we found Helen. Let's rig one of our comms from your vac suit or someone else. I have a vac suit back stored at the place, so if you want to ditch it now, we can fix it later kind of thing. And use it as a noise bait. Does that make sense? So that there is conversation and chatter and loud action going on in that room. And we hide in the elevator as it passes through, close the door behind it, and make our way back through the duct into this circuit area. It's an idea.
Yeah, it's an idea. I need refinement. I don't want to sacrifice the vac suit comms, but we could find another way to make some sound.
I mean, we all have headsets or something, right? Was that implied? Oh no, we don't. Okay.
No.
I have a pristine vac suit back at the base, so not having your comms isn't going to be the end of the world.
Right, but this is my vac suit that I'm currently wearing as we go around in a vac suit,
which you won't need if you're dead. Just to be clear, you won't be talking to anyone.
That brings me to my second point, which is that closing the door to trap it behind a door when it can cut through a bulkhead isn't going to help.
Yeah, it's true. So it would be better to sneak silently through rather than my brain. Sorry, then close it and alarm.
Okay, so you guys are in a bit of a stressful situation here, so I'm going to have to kind of cut it with the planning here.
Yeah.
If you want to plan more, you're going to have to do something. You have to go somewhere.
Yeah. Well, we are doing it. We're going through the duct. That's definitely.
You are okay. So you're
David should go. I'll start scooting backwards because I want to be able to shoot at it if it comes at me.
Okay. And how far are you going?
To the elevator junction landing.
Okay. Cool.
Right now.
All right. One moment.
As fast as possible.
Okay. As fast as possible. Okay. All right. So clang, 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 clang. You left your crowbar there?
Yes. I kind of had to. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you can hear like the boom, boom every once in a while from behind you, causing you some stress. But not mechanical at this point. But you retreat back through the duct and you're on the elevator landing once again. Don't forget that there is an unexplored room which you think Romanov Company came from.
There's 2 unexplored rooms.
And I think we should duck into. I was going to say go into the lift, but that'll beep if we open the door, presumably. So I think we would want to go into one of the unexplored rooms and hide. With my plan, if we pursue my plan,
I do like the idea of like leaving the door open to the handhold room. And maybe we could rip out some wiring in a light fixture so that it spits and sparks or flickers to create attention.
I've got an idea.
Yeah.
Why don't I slice my palm and intentionally drip blood across the juncture into that room, then staunch it, run back without stepping through the blood, so there's a trail.
Trail of blood from an android? Sure. Go nuts.
I mean, I have blood. I don't know. It's a thought. I'm trying to think fast so we're not abusing like too much planning.
Tell you what, why don't you do that while you're doing it? I'm going to attempt to bolt the ducts back onto the wall, John, on the elevator landing room side.
Okay.
So I reattach the nuts and start tightening them up as fast as I can while he's leaving a blood trail. And then there's 2 doors we could go through.
The southerly one is the closest to the duct. The issue. So I think we should sneak on the other side of that after we do the blood trail and anything else you want to do to try to bait it into the northern room.
To be clear, like you're sort of like a, Bishop Ash sort of thing, right? So your blood is sort of like a pseudo milk, right? You can certainly leave a trail, but it's not red blood or.
Yeah, no, I understand, but I mean, I don't think this thing is discerning between human and android when it's coming to kill.
Just being clarifying. Where are you leaving the trail?
I'm gonna trail it. I'm gonna wipe some on the duct that he has refixed. Okay.
So that he'll smell it, see it.
Then I'm gonna trail it from the duct north through the doorway. I'll wipe some on the door there too. Right. And in fact, when I come back out, I'll close that door so that we'll hear it break through that door. And then I'll drip it into the cramped room. Does that make sense?
Okay. So from the duct into the meeting room. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
But wiping it on the duct and the door specifically as audio triggers, so we'll know when it breaks through the duct. We'll know when it breaks through that northerly door, and then I'm going to go to the door on the. I mean, I know orientation doesn't matter, but on our map to the south, to the left of the duct, quietly open it so I don't alert anything on the other side, and close it behind me.
Okay. Understood. All right. So yeah, you guys get that done.
Okay. So yes, I get the duct reattached. He leaves a trail of milk, and Helen spends the whole time cussing, no doubt. And then let's go to the south door next to the duct.
Okay.
Not the Romanov came from here door.
Correct.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, you don't hear anything coming down from the duct right now, and you're far enough away now where like you can't hear the banging anymore either. Especially after you check out that door. So that door is a normal door. Do you just open it up?
Yes.
Yes.
But quietly and trying to be stealthy about it.
Sure. So open the door up. You can see that this is let's see. So it's a lit room, relatively small. It looks like it was like a locker room at one point. So there are 20 lockers that are bolted to the walls. Looks like they were kind of bolted in order to accommodate 0G if it happens, and that are in various states of disrepair. There is graffiti that is written on the floor in front of those lockers, and that there's a simple word that says shower time. There's a whole bunch of lockers, like 20 of them. Is
there a shower?
There is no shower, just a locker room, and there is a bulkhead door on the far side of the room.
All right.
If for whatever reason things go really terribly, we can hide in the locker. If it seems like it's not
telling it
taking
right
bait.
now. They're all closed. They're locked. There's padlocks. They've been ransacked. What's the situation with the lockers,
They're in
John?
various states of disrepair. So some are closed, some are open, some are broken, that sort of thing. If you want to take the time, just let me know.
And it's just the locker room, just rows of lockers, maybe some benches.
20. There's basically 10 on either side sort of thing. Yeah.
I'm going to be listening at the door if you want to take. It's to hear if I hear the duct adjacent to us start getting pounded. I'm sorry, I keep focusing on your vac suit. My one concern if we're trying to be stealthy is your vac suit makes a lot of noise. Do you want to store your vac suit temporarily in one of these lockers? If we go through that duct, you're not going to want to have it on because it's going to immediately alert the monster that we've gone through there.
What duct?
The one we just fled through.
Well, oh, you're talking about going back through.
Yeah, that's why I was suggesting we bait it, because then we can go behind it through and continue to the server room.
And I thought I had explained that I don't think that's going to work because it's going to go in that other room and it's not going to stay there. It's not going to be fooled and we can't lock it in there. I think getting away this other route is the only sensible option. Yes, I would like.
If you want to be a coward, I mean, I know you don't like adventure, Dixon.
Well, you can be rebooted. I am a verified human, and I've only got the one option, which is to die in space horribly, and I don't want to do it yet. That's I love the graveyard on our website, but I don't want to be in it just yet. So,
well, I will posit this. Whatever amount of time it takes, hence my original idea, right, to go into the northern room will be brief, right? But we will hear it go through the duct. If it does, we'll hear it go through that door. We'll enter into that room. There's a window of time there, maybe not a large one, maybe not a functional one. It is not necessarily true that if we don't go into that duct, the next room it searches isn't the locker room we're in. And then we're in the locker room. So if our goal is just to flee, going into the lift and leaving and not coming back is the better part of valor. I just think we should go explore the secret space. But
So are you waiting in this room until you hear presence of the thing?
Yes, that's what I'm waiting in the door, the other side of this doorway, listening.
I'm willing to wait here for a moment while he's listening. I will ransack the lockers, and then I'm going to check the bulkhead door to the south. And then I think we should reassess at that point.
Sure. Okay, so you are going to hold up here until you hear signs of danger. So in the meantime, you're searching the room, basically, right? That's kind of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. So Dixon, how exactly are you going about this locker search?
So my assumption, I've got my pistol out because I'm still terrified of the scythe-armed thing, and I will, I will look in the first couple that are open and just sort of see what's in there, move the door with my gun barrel as needed. If they look like they're full of good stuff, I'll search it. If it's just, clearly just like a couple of used hankies and a sock on the bottom, I'm not going to get too detailed, but let's start with ones that are already opened.
But are you, okay. Right. Okay. So for open ones, most of them have just junk and useless shit in them that you're not going to really find. However, one open one does have, as you kind of sift through with the point of, what are you using again?
Revolver.
Your revolver.
I've got one of those big dirty Harrys, the long barrel.
Yeah, so kind of moving around. You do uncover what appears to be 3 submachine gun magazines.
I will take
that's
those.
Great.
Okay. I will absolutely take that. I don't suppose they're the same caliber as my revolver.
9mm probably. Submachine gun might be a 9, but they're not.
I'm just going with, if they tell me it's for a submachine gun, then it's for a submachine gun, period.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's like video game ammo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will absolutely pocket those to dangle in front of the Marine later.
I don't think he can use them. I mean, he doesn't have a submachine gun.
Oh, he has an SMG. He's got a shotgun. My backup character has an SMG. That's important for later.
So that's it for the open ones. Some of the other ones are hanging off their hinges, sort of thing. Or so some of the contents are obscured. Others are closed. That sort of thing. So do you want to mess with those as well?
Yeah, I think I will. I haven't had anything immediately leap out at me, but
as he triggers a wire grenade and a claymore blows his face off.
It's possible. Yep.
So
I
how are
mean,
you going?
go ahead.
How are you going about opening the other ones?
Hold on, Dave. Did you differentiate between the open ones and the ones with the doors hanging off their hinges?
No.
That's all. Okay, so what's left are closed lockers.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. I will stand like with my back to the side, and I will open the locker with my left hand and open it so that I'm pointing the gun into the opening as I open the door.
Okay, for every single door, every single one that's left, that's closed.
There's a scythe-armed thing and acid pustules on ceilings. I think I'm entirely reasonable in being paranoid that something is going to leap out and bite my face, and I want to shoot it.
Right. Okay. But I'm just being clear. Like, you are going to be looking at every possible locker that you possibly can, carefully, but you're being careful, but you're still opening all those doors, right?
As long as he's sitting there listening to the bulkhead, or not even to the bulkhead, just to the wall or the door, then I'm going to search the room. We've already found 3 mags. We just need an SMG. We're going to be in good shape for killing the scythe man.
Okay. Well, in that case, Dixon.
Damn. Damn it.
Do you recall about 30 seconds ago when David was describing about what possibly could happen?
Yeah.
David actually described absolutely 100% accurately what happens.
Play more mine.
So well done, David. A frag grenade apparently was rigged in one of the closed lockers, and even though you're aware of possible danger, you do open that door, and even though you are to the side of it, it's a frag grenade, right? So you open up the door carefully, you hear like a tink, and then boom, and everything just and you are going to get hit with a frag grenade. Thankfully, David was at the other side of the room, near the door. David, you are thrown bodily to the ground by the concussive force of the grenade, but you're not going to suffer shrapnel. I'm going to roll a straight up 50, or unless you guys want to roll, a 50% chance that Helen is going to be caught in the blast as well, because we didn't determine where she was.
You roll.
You want me to roll? Okay.
Yeah.
I will say that 50 and under, she is good. 51 and over, she's bad. I rolled a 50 exactly, so she's barely good. So Ted, you're going to eat it.
Yep.
Let's see. Okay.
There's no.
It could have been a lot worse, Ted. You're going to take
speed check or something for me. Like I hear the ping and I try and jump away or anything.
Fuck no, Ted.
Oh.
I telegraphed that shit out the wazoo, and you still open
What if
doors.
he does the Matrix lean? You know,
You do.
Come on.
You're going to take 6 health points of damage, and consider yourself lucky, because the maximum for that roll could have been 30.
Okay.
You so it's 6 health points. That does not drop you to a wound level, right?
No, it does not. Does it? Okay, so armor points. Trying to find the rule here. Armor. So the rules are not specific here. I'm like, here we go.
It counts. Yeah, so you're gonna reduce it by 3 because you're wearing a vac suit.
Well, that only actually has 1 armor point.
Vac suit? Vac suit has 3.
I thought it had 1.
Front page of the book. 3. So you're gonna.
I was using the.
Well, time's the waste in here. So you're gonna. If you really want to take more damage, feel free to just take the damage.
No. But if I take that, it frags the suit, right?
It does, yeah.
Bugger. Fuck.
Yeah. So you're gonna take 3 points, so you're gonna take 3 points total damage to yourself, but your vac suit, although it can still be worn, it provides no benefits anymore, right? So it's just completely shredded.
And the comms.
Yeah, it's shredded. Like, you have shrapnel like all through it. All right, so it's fucked.
All right, I will. Can I just keep the helmet for the comms and the lights?
No, man.
They're shredded, Ted. They're gone.
Shredded, Jesus.
Listen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get rid of it. I ditch it.
Okay, so yeah, it's just, okay, and lastly, in one,
sorry, go ahead.
To ease your pain, Ted, in one of the last closed lockers, you find some Fundo brand snacks. Fundo with an exclamation point.
Ooh.
We'll take Fundo snacks.
Tastes good, goes down good.
Yeah.
After the shock and disorientation from this grenade that Dixon has just exploded,
Mhm.
I'm going to reorient myself and in even more of a panic, listen carefully to see if I hear anything from the duct.
Yeah, so it actually happens in quick succession. Whenever you hear the explosive grenade, you actually think it might be some sort of like, reverberation or something like that, but you hear another explosion as apparently a door or a duct perhaps explodes outwards from the other side of the door that you're listening against, David. And you hear a clattering of sharp objects hit the ground outside, like a and you hear like an awful sort of like like a voiceless growl kind of issue forth from the other side of the door.
All right, I am going to steel myself as best I can and try to listen to what direction it moves in.
So you hear like a tick, 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 tick of multi-limbs, and it appears to be, just based upon your hearing and knowing how you set up your trap, it does appear to be following your trail into the handheld room, the meeting room.
I'm going to look very meaningfully at Dixon.
Yeah, you hear like another door sort of burst open.
It's now
Do
or never.
you think we can actually run fast enough then that? Yeah, fine. What the fuck? We all die. We all die. Great. Okay, fine.
I think we're going to die in this room if we stay in it, to be honest.
There's a bulkhead south is what I would do for preference, but what the hell? Fine.
I want both of you guys to take one stress. I just think I think the general scenario just kind of calls for it.
Sure.
Yep. If you're doing it, do it, David.
I don't have to.
I know. If you're doing it, do it. And we've
Okay, John, I will. The minute I hear that other door burst open and the clattering move into that room, I'm going to, as quietly as I can, open this door and, hugging the wall, move rightward as quickly as I can and jump into that duct.
Okay, so you get so as you do that, you get a horrific sight off to your left, basically, where you see like the sack end of it. What is that? The abdomen of a spider, sort of thing, right? You see that get dragged into, like it drags like bodily across the floor into the meeting room and disappears, and it's like leaving like a little like pool of steel wire as it kind of comes out the back of the spinnerets. And you can also see too that it's dragging what appear to be vestigial bladed limbs that are sort of on the side, and those jutting off of those blades are actually the remnants of what look to be human hands. But the human hands are like boneless, so they're just sort of like phalanges that are just sort of like awful sort of fins on the side of the blades, you know what I mean, as it sort of drags itself in, and it's like chittering like a spider as it goes in.
I didn't think it was going to get worse, but it did.
Oh, it did. All right.
But based upon the orientation of where you are, David, yes, your plan will work. You can kind of skirt right around and right into the duct.
Okay.
Now here's the unfortunate thing. It's getting bad to worse here, David. You may have expected when you crawl into the duct, it's filled with that wire. Okay. Now, you're expecting the worst. You're expecting like just immediately just have like your hands like sliced open or anything like that. They are not like the like a garrote wire or anything like that, right? So they're not. They are not. What's the word for it? Ted, you said it. I can't remember, but what?
They're not monofilament. They're not
monofilament. Like not monofilament. But they are steel, and it's preventing you from moving. Basically, you're not caught, but there's definitely like a full-on barrier in there, right? And when you hit that barrier, and the strings, the metal strings sort of vibrate, and they kind of let off this sort of weird vibration sort of sound, and you can hear the thing in the other room scream in agitation as it's breaking things in the room and obviously reorienting itself to come find what has disturbed its filaments.
The
Somebody
duct
run
is
for the
it.
elevator.
I mean, I think I'm stuck, but y'all can run for the elevator.
You're not
Grab
stuck.
your foot
You're
and
just
fall
you
you
just
out.
can't move forward into the duct unless you have some way of
No, I
breaking that.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm saying I don't know that I have the ability to make it out of the duct into the elevator in time if this thing's running back. So I might
I'm
just
going to
trade.
reach in and grab his ankle and just haul his ass out.
Okay.
I can do a strength check if you want or something like that.
Just to give you an option, just to make it clear, David, when you did go into the duct, it's not that the steel didn't break. It does break whenever you apply significant
you
pressure.
can continue forward.
Yeah, you could continue forward, but you're going to be sending that resonance every time you move forward. Do you know what I mean?
So it knows we are going in that direction.
And it doesn't break
So
like
would be-
paper, right? Like you are slowed down. You know what I mean? You can't just break through, run through it. Yeah.
This is such a gamble because if it's a dead end and this thing's following us, then I'm trapping myself in the far room.
Yep.
There's also the other unexplored room that you haven't gone through.
Okay, I will jump back or be pulled out by Ted into the junction.
You have a split
While
second
we're-
before you're in combat with this thing.
Oh well, fuck. Then I'm just going to keep moving forward. Then there's no way we're going to get to the
like
elevator.
right now. Like you could get to the elevator. You can go to any egress right now, but that's you have to do it right now.
Gotcha. I assume you guys are running to the elevator. Yeah,
Right to the elevator.
I'll hoist my gun up just in case, aiming at that door, strafing across to the elevator as fast as I can.
Okay.
Raping with a harpoon gun?
I hate to be a dick, but you have to call the elevator, right?
Oh, then fuck that. No, then I'm not
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
No, I'm pushing through the steel wire. Fuck it. I'm continuing through the steel wire.
You could do that, but there is the other room. I'm just pointing it out. There's the other room where the Romanoff
David,
company came from. I'm just
Fine,
saying.
if you're pushing through the wire, there's two people behind you who are going to get killed. I'm
Well,
running.
here's-
The elevator has to be called. I'm running for. Running for the towers, man. I'm going to go back to the locker room and head south.
All right, so why don't you? Oh, I mean, I could just post up in this duct and start shooting from it, and y'all can shoot while waiting for the elevator from the other doorway.
If I hear combat, I'll come back and do that.
Okay, I'm
I'm a little confused now. So what's going?
I am too. Okay, so you're running south through
Yep.
the locker room.
Yep. Elevator has to be called. I'm not getting through that wire first. I'm already not first. I'm turning around. I'm going back to the locker room. I'm going to go through the bulkhead to what I presume is the showers.
Okay, and Helen's with you. So, and then David, what are you doing?
I'm paralyzed right now.
Your plan didn't work, David. So I'll haul you out, or I hauled you out. You're here in the elevator room. You can climb back in, or you can take the other door, or you can follow me.
My desire to shoot it and try to fight it is so high, but I think it would be foolhardy of me. So I guess
Not the ideal spot to do
run.
Helen's just going,
Well,
fuck.
Well, the advantage of the duct is it's like a 1-point egress, right? And I have an ability to shoot. But fuck, I hate running. Okay. This hurts me so much.
You're supposed to be HR. You're not a Marine, man. Running is okay.
Okay, so I will. Yeah, I'll follow you into the locker room. I'll take up the back with my gun, pointed behind us, and basically like hustle, slightly backwards,
Okay.
2-stepping.
You obviously shut the door behind you, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's a normal
Yeah.
door. I'm just letting you know.
Yep.
So that door closes. David's covering that entrance while the other two people are racing towards the bulkhead door. You can hear the thing emerge back into the elevator landing, and scream basically. Rah.
Hey, John. I'm
Yes.
sorry. I'm actually going to hide in a locker while they're fucking with this bulkhead. I'm going to get in one of the lockers that was not exploded, and I'm gonna close the door.
Okay, got it.
Oh, I should put a padlock on that fucker.
And I'm going to be so quiet, very quiet.
Okay. Into the locker you go. Dixon, you and Helen race across the locker room to the bulkhead door. Like, let's get the fuck out of here. And it's
It's locked.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
I had a feeling it might be.
At the same time, Dixon, that you pull on the handle to try to get that fucking thing open and realize it's locked and your heart sinks. The other side of the room,
Yep.
you hear simultaneously you hear a locker door slam, which is David closing himself in, and also simultaneously you hear and see something very vast ram into that door. Boom. And that door basically cracks visibly because it's like a normal door, and it's like one more hit, that thing is going to be blown off of its hinges, and that whole thing is going to be majestic in its presence as it decides to dissect you within the locker room.
All right. I'm going to run up to the corner of a locker bank to use it for cover and stable my gun and not be immediately in its line of sight.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to go down fighting. It's going to come in here and I'm going to fucking shoot it. Helen,
Okay.
you can shoot your nail gun. You can hide in the locker, but I'm going to try and buy you guys some time and kill this thing, but fuck. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm just going up and I've got the locker bank, like right here on the end of it.
Yeah.
And I'm ready.
Okay. She is going to get up close to the door where it's going to come into, but also try to find cover behind a locker. But she's going to attempt to, if she survives long enough, she's going to attempt to sweep around behind it and out into the elevator landing, hopefully. But you can see like she's like making the sign of the cross, and she's like basically white as a sheet, not looking good. The thing bursts into the room, just. The door goes flying, and it makes its presence known, and it rears up. So it's like a combination of like a spider, but also like a snake as well, like a serpentine thing. So it's got like a long torso, right, with all these scything blades, with the vestigial hands just sort of flopping around. And again, it has just like a no lower jaw syringe that just kind of comes out from the top of its mouth, and multifaceted human eyes dotted across its head.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
I start shooting it immediately.
Yeah. And also,
Like,
just to make it more horrifying, like it has no lips. The lips have been peeled back, and it's just a perfect set of white human teeth on the top jaw, right? But it's like proboscis coming down, syringe, right? And it screams some unholy scream of constant eternal pain and suffering.
At which point I shoot it.
Yes, and you're going to shoot it. So it is, let's see, David is hidden. Helen is right next to it, has taken cover. You have also taken cover, but you're a little bit further into the room. So I'm going to say that because it has pretty much like 360-degree vision, both Helen and you are going to be viable targets. So it at random... Well, actually, it's different than D&D, so it won't be random. I'll make it random, then I'll broadcast it. So let's see. That's going to be Helen. It's going to whip its head around and going to attempt to basically dice Helen into multiple pieces. That's what it's going to do if nothing happens. What do you do?
I take aim and fire.
Okay, great. So
I assume it's one shot with a revolver per round of combat, basically, or like there's no way to like just unload everything and all at once in a screaming hail of bullets.
No, because it's not automatic. So so you're gonna roll combat.
Yep. All right. My combat is a 41. Is there any modifier because I've braced here in the cover or anything like that with the revolver?
No, I'm afraid not.
Okay. I rolled a 20. That is a hit.
Oh, great. Okay.
A revolver does 1d10 plus 1 damage, and I rolled a 5, so that's 6 points of damage.
6 points. Okay. All right. So you're blam, and the bullet sinks into it, right? And it kind of jerks back a little bit, but it, like no hesitation, just continues straight for Helen. Helen is also going to attack with her
nail gun. That was 1d5 bleeding damage.
Let's be honest, did you pass the nail gun back to her after the whole thing?
I'm pretty sure I said it.
You did say, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We have to count her ammo too. Okay, so
you got 20 rounds left.
20 rounds left. Okay, and she's attacking. She hit, which is good for her. And she's going to do only 1 point of damage. and it would normally cause
It's bleeding down.
bleeding, right? Let me just check that real quick.
I'm curious what that is.
Bleeding is on page 32. That means they take 1 damage every round until the bleeding is stopped. It's cumulative. Okay, so it's going to take 1 point of damage, but then it's just remind me it's going to take an extra point every round. Okay.
Yeah.
So it kind of and it plugs into like its android chest sort of thing. Okay, so now, but it doesn't stop it at all. So she's like frantically, just like fuck, and it goes in and just like it closes right around her. Okay, so it needs to attack Helen.
Can I just say, Mike,
Yes.
when you listen to this, I'm sorry you missed it, buddy, because this was what you were dreaming about.
20. Yeah, really. Okay, what is Helen's? Oh, okay. Let's see. So this is the first time I've had to do this. She is going to take a how many
A wound?
wounds does she have?
Probably 2, right?
I don't need to look it up. Okay, so she pumps it in, and the thing just basically engulfs her. Dixon, you have the unfortunate, very unfortunate, privilege or curse, I should say, of watching.
No, privilege.
Let me see. What's going on with you right here?
Me?
Okay. Yeah, you have the unfortunate privilege of watching Helen get finally diced into multiple parts, alive as it happens to her. So it basically wraps itself around her and just blood just. And she screams out in agony as she is diced into multiple pieces, which slap wetly on the ground, and she winks out. And she is very dead.
That's a sanity save for Dixon, right?
It's definitely going to be something.
Is she an android?
What do you mean? How do you know?
Do I see the white milk or like some sort of, that's a weird organ that doesn't exist in humans or something like
You
that?
see blood. It's very much red blood
Okay.
as she dies. And let's see. It's pretty awful by a creature that you've never seen before. This is what I'm going to say. I want Dixon. You're going to make me an automatic panic check, but you do get your teamster shit happening with that.
I'm using it, yeah.
if you want to use it. David, at the same time, you're in the locker and you don't see it, but you do hear it, and you can visualize exactly what's going on. So I just want you to make me a normal fear save, and I know that you're good at that, but I think that's fair for you to do.
Sure.
Yeah.
That was
I got a 72, and I have an 88 target, so I passed it.
Okay, you're good. It's not pleasant sounding, but you're able to maintain. Dixon, so you're going to be rolling a D20, the only D20 in the game, right? And you want to
that's right.
you want to roll greater than stress. So you need to go, hitting it is failing.
Okay, so my stress is a 12. And I'm rolling with advantage, and I rolled a 14, so I'm not even going to roll a second one.
Good. Okay.
I make
Well,
panic check.
no, roll a second one. You may get a crit, and I'll give you something good.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, you can't get a crit on a
I
D20.
didn't think so, but I'll
Yeah,
roll it. What the hell? I'm going to take the 14.
Okay. Never mind that one.
Take
Okay,
that
so
one.
so you're again.
I
This
love
is this.
panic.
You're the only PC who's had to make panic checks so far, and both times your Teamster thing has saved your bacon, which is great.
Yeah.
So you steel yourself because you're a union man, god damn it, and you've seen worse. Not really.
I've seen worse. That's right.
I mean, the foreman, oh,
Yeah.
real piece
but-
of shit.
But yeah, Helen eats it in the most horrific fashion. So it basically rears up, right? So its abdomen is dragging across the ground, but its full android torso is up in all 6 of its blades, and it does like this kind of badass motion where it takes all 6 of its arms and it goes and it whips off the blood and gore from it, and all in one motion, right? Like, and it spatters against the locker walls, right? Cleaning
Which
itself,
point?
right? And then
I
you see
see
it's a syringe that's draping out of its mouth, like pulls up, and there's just like a string of wet blood that it had after it had sunk it into Helen's corpse, and it's just dripping out of the syringe. And you can see the syringe itself is like filled with blood, and its eyes now are blood red and bloodshot as it kind of turns and lolls its like crazily disfigured head towards you, Dixon.
I shoot it.
Okay.
I shoot
David, you also can declare actions if you want to do something.
Okay. David / Deleuze calmly in the locker has a memory of many instances in which Dixon and his other compatriots made great emphasis on their belief that androids were beneath them, subhuman, not worth living, etc.
What?
And he remains in the locker for only God forgives.
Wow.
Damn. All right.
I hope it fucking smells you in there, man. And like it eats the shit out of you. You don't even have a chance to shoot your harpoon because you're in a fucking locker.
Spatially and tactically, just so you're aware, so you guys can make good decisions. It is near the front door, but away, but not blocking the front door. Right? It had turned and attacked Helen, so it's sort of in that corner of the room. All right, so it's closer to the exit door leading out to the thing, but that door is now blown off and can be just exited through. But you would have to be adjacent to the thing before you exited.
Sorry to say, it would have covered the doorway with steel wire as well.
So that is not the case, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't automatically just spin as it moves. It determines that it's going to do that, and has not done this in this one. So that door is just blown off its hinges and it's open, but getting through it right now might be a little bit tough, but the option is there. Okay. So Dixon, fire.
If I wanted to like fire as I was running past it, would I need to make like a speed check to get away from it? Would it just automatically get like an AOO on me? Or like what tactically?
What I would say, okay, so if you wanted to do that, I would say you would definitely make a speed roll.
Yeah.
And then I would actually I would roll that speed. That your speed roll would also be your attack roll, and I would make that roll with disadvantage, because you're trying to run and gun and try to move past it very, very close to it as you move out of the room. But if you succeed, you would not only escape the room, but you would also damage it.
Odds are not good. Disadvantage. My speed is less than my combat by a few points.
Now, if you wanted to just run, if you wanted to just not shoot at it and get out, that would be a normal speed check.
Yeah. Boy, that's a tough call. Yeah. But it's gonna kill me if it closes to hand. That would be my assessment at this point from watching what I did to Helen.
It's pretty nasty. Yeah.
Like,
and also the two hits that you.
I'm not looking at it thinking like, she was a cream puff, I could take him. Like, I'm like, that's it. If it closes, I'm dead.
It's a terrifying beast, and also to be clear too, like you both hit it and it didn't break stride at all, right?
All right, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run for the door, top speed, and I'm going to be heading. The elevator. I guess we didn't actually call it, so it's not an option. So I'm gonna run for the door that the what were they? The
Romanov company.
Yeah. Romanov. So I was like,
let's see if you get through the door first.
All right, so I need to get my speed. To all of our listeners who are rooting for me, I know you are, and through time, I want you to influence my die roll. Okay, so everybody should be praying right now for time influence on my die roll. I need a 37 or lower.
Do you have a skill that could be applied? Don't cheese it. I just mean like something really obvious that might apply.
That's a good question. I am skilled in athletics.
That's a perfect one.
Okay, so that means my roll is a 47 or less.
Okay.
And I'm rolling my dice here on my table, and I have you failed me. Every single one of my listeners has failed me with your time love. You didn't do it right.
Is it a critical?
No, it's a 75.
75. Okay.
Hey, Ted, you have a submachine gun on your next guy. I mean, like, don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
It's a win-win.
Okay, so you
brutal.
You're like, fuck it, I'm going, and you fucking run as fast as you can. trying to get through the door, and it basically intercepts you. It basically just sort of it slithers like right into block that, and attempts to latch onto you. It
Any
hits.
chance that my hand-to-hand combat skills would affect my results of being sputched here?
No, I'm afraid not.
Okay.
It would definitely affect your combat roll being attacking another person though.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay.
And it doesn't follow, Queensberry rules, right? I assume it's not. It's not fighting fair.
No.
No honor amongst thieves. Yeah.
Okay. I need you to make me first of all, as the size that descend upon you, I need you to make a fear save, please.
All right, my fear is 35, and oh my god, I missed it by 2. 37.
Okay, so you're going to take 1 stress. And in addition, more importantly,
I'm going to survive this.
you're going to take 20 points of damage as the thing just rips into you. How many health do you have?
I currently have 5 health.
How many wounds do you have?
I have 2 wounds.
You have 2 wounds. Okay, so what's your max health?
16.
16. Okay, so you're going to take 5, and you're going to take a wound, and we're going to resolve that in a second. Okay, but then the rest of it's going to roll over,
Right.
and so that would be another 15, right? And you have so you would go down to 0, and then you would go right back up to 16. That's your max, right?
We're down to 1.
So you're down to 1 before you
With
take your
1
second wound. So you're almost dead, but you're also going to take a wound. Let's see. You're taking this from. This is
This is
we're gonna-
not pretty.
we're going to look at the wound table. This is going to be fun for me. So this is page 29 with the wound
All right,
table.
I got it.
We're going to call this the gore and massive column.
I think that seems reasonable, yeah.
Yes. So let's see. How does this work? It's been a long time since I've rolled wounds table according to the type of damage. Okay, so roll D10.
I roll the D10. This is cruel to make me be implicit in my own death here. It's
Your armor does actually. Oh no, you're not wearing armor. Never mind.
yeah, it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
All right, I rolled a 0.
A 0.
I vomit.
That's good. That's actually good.
That's actually good. Yeah, I vomit, and then what is that? A minus on my neck? Oh, disadvantage on my next
Disadvantage on
action?
your next action. Okay. Oh, Jesus,
Yeah.
you really dodged a bullet there. So you're still 1 away from taking your second wound, and once you take your second wound, you start making death saves, I believe. When you get into soon.
There's a roll, yeah.
If your death is in, let's see, where is this? If your health reaches 0, gain a wound, roll a wound table, then reset the character's maximum. Once your character suffers their maximum wounds, make a death save. Okay, so yeah, so you're 1 away from suffering your maximum wounds, right? So, so you basically just get sliced and diced all over, crisscrossing. You're not losing any limbs, fortunately, because you're able to defend yourself better than Helen could. So you're backing away, you're like fucking screaming, and David, you're hearing just awfulness from outside. Blood gouting out from every place in your body, Ted, which just causes you to naturally just plow. that's your
Well, that's blood. You're vomiting it up, not food. I think
100%. And so you have disadvantage in your next action. Okay, so that's the top of the round. If you guys do nothing, it's going to try to finish Dixon off.
Did it pin me in some way? Can I still flee?
You can still flee. It has not grabbed you.
The Romanov door, as we're calling it, was not a bulkhead, was it? No, it's just a door.
It was not. No. So if you want to escape, because you're adjacent to it, right? So you're sort of still like engaged in D&D sort of terms, right?
Yeah.
So it's still the same situation. You would still have to use a speed check to get out the fucking door, and your next action is at disadvantage. So that one would be a disadvantage roll. You're in a tight spot.
I'm in a tight spot.
Damn.
I'm in a tight spot, and even at disadvantage, this is it Hudson or Hicks? Like, you want some? You want some of this? You want some of this? Fuck you. Fuck you. And I'm going to put the revolver right up against its proboscis and shoot it.
Oh, he's staying.
nice.
And
Disadvantage. Don't forget.
Yeah. So I rolled a Oh,
Critical failure.
I rolled a 37, which would have hit. That would have been my victorious death of the proboscis man. And then I rolled a 66.
Oh. Brutal. Okay, so you're going to take a stress.
He did want a piece of that, and he gladly took it because it was not that much of a piece.
Yeah, so you try to you basically fumble the gun as you're trying to bring it up, but you're just, your hands slick with blood, your own blood, right? You're trying to get it, and it just basically slips out of your hands and drops to the ground. And you're not able to get a shot off as you stare down. You're not sure which eyes to look into. David, did you want to do anything? Still your guys' turn.
No.
David's
I am as quiet as if as an android, can't breathe. I basically shut all of my motor systems down to like a paralyzed state.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
smart
I boot
move.
off all of my like unnecessary systems.
Right.
So that I'm just like
hibernating. Yeah. Okay.
Literally.
So the thing is going to attempt to finish Cromwell off.
Yeah. Mike EMPs you, and I'm the one who gets all the bullshit. Okay.
There was a lot of anti-android smack talk for 6 episodes straight that I kept saying, why are you all saying these things? Why are you saying these things?
Once you catch yourself, their maximum wounds, make a death save. Okay, so from what my understanding is here at 28.2 in the PSG, that you don't actually roll in the wounds table for the second wound, which is your maximum wounds. You go straight to the death save. Because you reach your maximum thing, so you're going to do the death. So make your last moments count, save someone's life, solve an important mystery, give the others time to escape. When you die,
I did what I could to cover for everybody, but
you did, yeah. Warden makes a death save by placing. Now we're not at a table together, but I kind of like the notion.
A cup right here.
Warden makes a death save by placing a D10 in the cup, shaking the cup, and placing it face down. As soon as someone spends a turn checking your vitals, right? Okay, so it's me. So I can just
got an actual cup.
Yeah, but just it's me. So let me do it. Yeah, because the cup is basically the distance that we have between. You're never gonna be able to see it. So
that's true. That's true.
Okay, and death table. Got it. Okay, I'm gonna roll. I have my number.
Okay.
But yeah, so Dixon, it just tears into you, and actually this kind of works out well for the fact that David is not watching, because I can leave Dixon's fate secret because David can't see him. This is didn't want to interrupt combat. We're late for a second break, so let's just do that real quick. We'll be coming right back.
Man.
Okay, we are back. Bladder's empty, beer's full. So so Dixon, you hear Dixon scream, David. And then everything goes, and then his voice gets cut off. All right. Now that doesn't mean that the noise suddenly ends. You can hear like the chittering of the thing out there as it's clacking around. Just interrupt me at any time, David. You can hear it in the room, and it appears to be banging, like lockers, and you could hear it like. You can only like maybe it's sifting through stuff. Like you could hear stuff like moving around, basically, right? Like as it's sort of like as it's moving around the room carefully. Your anxiety starts to go up even more a little bit, just because, David, you think that it's very possible it may be trying to look through lockers, but you're not sure.
I hear banging against lockers, but I also know there are a lot of lockers that are like, hello, kitty. Like scattered and detritus and stuff like that. Do I hear it opening any locker doors? Do I hear like hinges and things like that?
You can't tell. I can't give you that much information, but you hear like the banging of locker doors, right? Like you can hear it, like, but you don't know if it's like throwing its weight against them or if it's trying to open them and look. You're not really sure, but you hear it like banging around in the room, right?
Do I hear it go to the bulkhead side of the room at any point?
Yes, you do. It's going through the room.
When I perceive it as being as far below me as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to open the locker door, and dead sprint north.
Okay, what's your goal? What are you attempting to do? Where do you want to end up?
I am going to dead sprint north through the doorway,
pound the elevator call sign with my fist and run straight to the Romanov room.
Okay, so elevator call and then to the room, into the unexplored room, right? Okay.
Yes.
So okay. So you do that. You open the door. You take a quick look behind you without hesitating, obviously, just so you can get your thing. And you can, you timed it right where it's basically at the other door. As you burst open and make a run, it obviously whips around, right? Now, what you see is pretty horrific when you're again. You're not hesitating, so don't worry about it. But I'm just going to give you the flavor here.
Yeah, sure.
As you see. I'm going to break the rules a little bit with the way that you kind of check on if someone's really dead, because it's very, very obvious that Dixon is very much dead. Yeah. Okay, so Dixon and Helen in two separate but close by spots are basically in pieces.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're just like blood everywhere. In fact, as you move through the door, you sort of slip a little bit on the slick blood of Dixon, and your gorge sort of hitches in your throat. You can see that the monster is just dripping, like raining blood from that open mouth, just like just all down like the syringe and everything, just like basically coating it. All of its like phalanges are just filled with blood. The whole thing looks like it's just got like a red paint job, so it makes it even more horrific as it sort of whips around, spattering blood in like a shower against the lockers. The room is coated with blood everywhere. It has also apparently been systematically spinning so that there's glinting steel wire crisscrossing the room everywhere. Okay. Now, you were near the door in a locker, so you had to break through a couple of them, but it's not a big deal. But the resonance obviously tips it off and it whirls around, and you bolt out into the landing. You it did not spin in this room, although there are spools of it sort of on the ground where it was sort of dragging its abdomen around, right, earlier.
Sure.
You pound the call sign, and then backtrack into the thing. Okay, so...
And I'll be listening for the elevator ding, as I run into
the
Romanov room.
Okay, so you break into it's a normal door, so you can break it right into it, no problem. It's not locked. Personal space room. What's the person size? I can't remember the personal scale. So in this room, there's...
Let me map this, David, here.
Yeah, so there is, let's see, it appears to be a break room. So there is, again, it's like beige tile, dirty, detritus, very, very, again, not like a break room up in reception, which is a lot nicer. This is like much more office and corporate. This is very much like working class, steel mesh, that sort of thing. There are a couple of vending machines against the wall. One appears to be have a super strength beer in it, and the other one appears to be a cigarette machine.
Nice.
More importantly, though, there are two egresses out of this room, and there also appears to be a duct that could fit a human-sized person as well. Now, as you assess this very, very quickly, you can see that the duct is open, and there is a draped form that's sort of half hanging out of it. It appears to be a human or android form that's sort of draped there, and its head is sort of lolling, like it's basically like coming to a little bit. All right, but just very, very slow, like it's like really, really groggy right now. Hasn't quite assessed what's going on, and then behind you, the thing you can hear burst into the elevator landing. It is moments away from entering this room as well.
Is there any signage above either of these two doors?
Yes. So on one of the doors, it's fairly obvious because it has like a man-woman thing that it's a toilets.
Mm-hmm.
The other one appears to be a little bit more sturdy, a little bit more well-made, a little bit wider, but does not have any signage on it.
Okay, so this entity is waking up. Thank God. I love some bait.
The entity waking up is Ted's new character.
Oh, fuck. Sorry, Ted. You're bait. I'm not helping you, bro. I'm not trying to be a dick, but that's really unfortunate for you. Okay, well.
Right. All right. My new character is a Marine named Delphonse Hubble.
Delphon's Huddle. Love it.
Hubble. Delphonse Hubble.
Oh, Hubble, like the telescope. Okay.
Hubble. And Delphonse is wearing battle dress and carrying a submachine gun.
Oh, that's nice.
Because
Sweet.
I rolled fucking great on this guy.
Okay, so you
Nice.
literally are like one of those guys from Aliens now. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is he a Hudson or is he a Hicks? There's only two types of Marines, and those are the two types.
He dreams he's a Hicks, but I know he's going to die like a Hudson.
He's gonna die like a Hudson. Right. Okay, so yeah, so you got a helmet and everything because you got the battle dress on, right? So yeah, so you kind of come to, you were part of a team or whatever, or you're solo, or who knows fucking what, but but you're waking up after some bad experience here on the deep, and unfortunately you're waking up to a fucking living nightmare.
Yeah. I whistle real quick, gesture like fucking run towards the thing, coming to me, and I just never hesitate, keep running to the not the toilet, but through the other more sturdy doors.
The more sturdy door. Okay, cool.
So Delphonse was in the duct.
Yeah, you're kind of draped halfway out the duct, like you would somehow like passed out, or maybe you had like a wound or something and passed out.
All right. Well,
I'm
Marines
just making it up
wake
as I go,
fast.
man. I'm just trying to get you back in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wakes up fast. He doesn't ask questions. He just runs after the android who looks like he's terrified of something.
Yeah. And you discover what he's terrified of as you burst through into the next room. And Dixon, since you're, Delphonse, as you're kind of picking, let's call you by your last name, which is what I've been doing, Hubble, as you're bringing up the rear and closing the door behind you, you see the thing enter for the very first time into the break room. I need you to make me a fear save, Hubble. Welcome to the game.
Fear 44 is my fear score, and the number that I have rolled is a 34. So Delphonse ain't afraid of nothing.
You succeeded. I missed that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I succeeded. Yeah.
Okay, great, cool. So you're like, okay, fuck that, slam. Okay, so the room. So you actually end up in a corridor here. So mesh, very industrial corridor with exposed pipes and gas lines and all that sort of stuff. And it hits a corner which you have to kind of then move around to the left. You obviously keep going, right? Obviously, right?
We go through the door, and it's into a corridor.
Yeah.
Okay.
It hitches around to the left, basically, and there's a little bit long corridor, but you can see that it ends at another, basically the same kind of door, like a little more sturdy, but not quite a bulkhead door. And you rush into that, I assume, right?
Correct.
Okay. So in here, you can see that this is some sort of control room or operating room. There are a few like worn operator chairs, like utilitarian, minimal cushioning chairs. There is a large control panel, which is basically shared by both operator chairs, right? Like a waist height. With a number of like buttons and screens and stuff like that, but also like gimbal controls, like an actual like joystick sort of thing. And there is a number of camera feeds as well, which are actually active, and they are looking at what appears to be a loading dock, a gigantic cavernous space. Open to the void of actual space with emergency lighting lit, like red sort of flashing lights as well. And this is going by the camera feed that you're looking at. Again, like you're very stressed, so I'm only going to give you like the very basics of sort of what you see in the feed, right? But it's fairly obvious that this is a huge open dock, different than the dock that Arcady brings you to, right? And there appears to be a number of shipping containers, like Maersk sort of shipping containers that are strapped to the deck to
This
accommodate.
is on video, right? This is
On a camera feed, that's right, yeah. Strapped to the deck to accommodate for the 0G. And there also appears to be some sort of small craft, like some sort of small like little spaceship that's also there on the dock itself, which is like docked, like it's planted on the floor of the loading dock itself. Anyways, in the room though, there is the control panel with the operator chairs, and there is besides the door that you came in, there are 3 other doors here. 2 appear to be normal, and one, I have to check the
3 other doors.
appears to be a bulkhead door. Okay.
Okay. So, any signage?
On the doors, let's see. So, that's a good question, actually. That is something that I kind of wish that this module kind of had as an indicator if it does tell you where things go.
I feel like, I mean, not to be cheesy, but I feel like a space station would have a signage for a lot of like egresses, like you see in Alien and stuff like that. But
yeah. Okay, so I think like a lot of the ones that lead to hallways probably wouldn't, even if they lead eventually to some other place. So what I'm going to say is that one of them, the bulkhead door, does have a sign on it, and it actually says defense laser capacitors.
All right.
Now, you hear from behind you in the distance, right? Because remember, you entered from a corridor. You hear a door bang open.
okay, I am going to quickly open both of these southerly doors, and then run to the bulkhead and see if it can open. Or I'll tell Ted's character, who's Hubble,
Open the bulkhead while you're doing the other
to test the bulkhead. I'm opening these other doors with the hopes that if we can get through the bulkhead, it will think we went through them instead.
Okay, so you you open both of the doors. You can quickly see that they both lead to hallways. However, one of them is much longer than the other one. The one that is short is just like a few feet beyond, like I'd say like maybe 10 to 20 feet beyond in a straight line. It's just like a straight shot on a gangway, and then it leads to a massive actual airlock door. Okay, and that airlock door has like big like hazard signs, like open to space, because all the sorts of warning sort of things. Okay.
All right. One of them leads to an airlock.
Yeah, the other one goes down a passageway and then hitches to, like if you went down it would hitch to your right. Yeah. Now the bulkhead door. What did you say you do, David, when you look at it?
Hubble's going to just test it to see if it opens or if it's locked.
It's not locked, but typical bulkhead. It just takes a little bit of time to open that puppy up.
Okay. We don't have a lot of time, so I don't want to get too meta, but firing off thoughts real quick. The airlock is what the operations room is looking at. We know there's a spacecraft in there. It's also open to the vacuum of space, and it might take time to close that outer docking door for it to be safe for us to go in there. So that seems to me like it might take too much time to do, though I would love to go steal a small craft. The long hallway presumably leads to like a larger room to give space for it, and maybe a safe bet in terms of getting distance, but will be the most obvious place we fled to this creature, I think. And then the bulkhead, of course, will take time to open, and we have no idea what's on the other side, but it will delay the creature if we can lock it. Thoughts, Hubble?
Okay. So I just want to clarify. Bulkhead, time to open. Door number 1 led short gangway to an airlock that is closed. And you said we could see the docking station on the other side of that airlock?
No, but
No,
you're
the
making an assumption that
monitors-
that's the case, yeah.
The monitors are looking at an open to
No,
space.
I know about the monitors.
Yeah.
The part about the airlock being the assumption, that's what I needed to know. And then the
Yeah.
other door led to a corridor?
Oh, yeah, a longer corridor that hitches to the
longer
right.
corridor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, other than that, yeah, you got it.
Let me duplicate long corridor and add it right there. Okay. And your proposal, David, or your suggestion is that the bulkhead will take too long? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it sounds like it just broke the first door from the break room through the corridor to our room. So it is moments away from breaking the second door and being on top of us and seeing wherever we go.
So let me tell you this, like before you start like discussing options, like if you want to I'll give you this: if you stop talking right now, like no more discussion, and you attempt to focus your time on opening that bulkhead door, you could get in right now, but you have to do it like right fucking now. If you want to take any time to sort of think about other sort of options, then that is no longer an option. It will definitely burst into the room before you can open that door.
I think logically we do the bulkhead because we know it's a big wall.
I mean, it's already been gotten through one, but this has a defense laser thing on the backside. So let's do the bulkhead.
Bulkhead?
I'm opening it. He's checking the other doors. He comes back. He says, keep going. And I said, great.
I'll leave the long hallway door open and the airlock door closed. So it looks like we may have run down that hallway.
Okay, cool. Got it. Yeah, and in the meantime, okay, so obviously for dramatic effect, the moment that the airlock, the bulkhead door opens and you guys shoot through is, of course, when the thing bursts into the control room, right, and sees you, and you rush into the whatever defense laser capacitor has waiting for you, slam the door shut the moment that it sort of barrels into it, right, and like a obvious like imprint, and you can see it sort of like rear its head, and even though you can't really hear it because of the bulkhead, you can anticipate like what it's probably sounding like in its anger. Okay, but for now you're stressed, right? Like your heart's like racing, but you're able to take like a really like your first like really deep breath as because you've been running full pace as well. Don't forget. Now this room, so when you close the door, okay, and you're taking that breath, you feel a lightness, and that reason is because you are now in 0G as well. The room is pretty dark as well, and it's huge and massive. Okay, so so I'm going to say that because like you were super stressed and you had to make the decision really quick, you sort of burst through that door and you stepped into the room, and you immediately don't find any purchase whenever you step in, and you search down and you're immediately overtaken by a huge sense of vertigo as you look down and into darkness where there's you can't see anything, but thankfully you think that you're about to fall to your death, but you don't. You're sort of you're carried by your own momentum sort of forward into the room, right? Because you kind of were running into the room, right? So you're so there is hot air that is wafting up, not enough to damage you, but is like an obvious like vent of some sort is wafting up, and it's producing hot air all around you as you sort of float through this gigantic space. Yeah.
Inner battle dress, I think, does have lights. Do I have lights? No, I just have comms. I just have comms.
I once John finishes, I'm going to do something, but yeah.
Okay, so you're in a huge black space, and you can't really see anything because everything is super dark. However, there is a little bit of a brief flash of light, like whenever you step through from the previous room. So it outlined a little bit of the wall, like around you when you kind of step through. So as you sort of turn around and look back against the door, where you see the thing sort of hammering against it, you can see just the slightest indication of what looks like. I think that. That's right, you're a Marine now. So I don't think you would be able to kind of tell what these things are, but there are regular, like repeated systems of some sort, like dotting the wall. Like you're not really sure, like machines of some sort, very complicated electronics, that sort of thing. But you can't. You would need Thulsa or your previous PC to sort of gather what they might be for. But it's John, like again, you just see a few of them, right? Because everything else is dark.
John, the ceiling is outside of our site.
Yes, you're in an industrial scale room, 0G darkness.
Now the floor went down from the hallway, or we just floated above the floor because of the 0G. Does that make sense?
It went down, basically like the floor disappeared once you rushed through the door.
Yeah. I am going to try to find a purchase on a wall and push as hard as I can to swim upward into the darkness of the ceiling, to be as far away and invisible to this beast following us as possible.
Understood. So here's the crazy thing, and this is actually like not the least unnerving thing that you've experienced this session, but so your momentum is carrying you forward. You have nothing to find purchase on, right? So you know how it sort of works. It's like until an equal force interrupts you, you're just going to keep going. And what's scary is that you just keep going. It's a huge, massive room. Now you were running in here, so your speed is fairly great. So you're kind of cruising along laterally, right, together, we'll say. I assume like you kind of hold on to each other a little bit.
Yeah,
right, at least.
I'm holding his arm. I also have my harpoon gun at the ready because that is a buoy that can pull us to a location we want to be in if we need to.
Okay, cool. Right now you have no target, right? You could fire blindly.
No, I understand.
You could fire
fire
blindly.
blindly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I could fire blindly and use it to go that direction. Like just firing an SMG in 0G means I would go the opposite direction of my bullets.
True.
So we could steer if we could see.
Yeah.
Right.
I think first we should allow ourselves to maintain the momentum forward to see if we reach another wall or just what happens. And then if something perilous appears or we hear something nebulous in front of us, I'll probably just blind fire into the sky, hoping I get purchase on a ceiling or some industrial equipment with my harpoon.
right.
But I'll let you proceed, John, with description as we kind of move forward, I guess.
Okay, yeah, sure. So what overcomes you is that the greatest fear that any sort of spacefarer has, which is to be cast adrift into the void with no hope of rescue, like just floating forever until you die of starvation, right, or oxygen loss, right? And the only thing that's sort of keeping you from panicking is the fact that you know that you're breathing oxygen, right? Like you're not in space, but everything else feels like you've been cast adrift and that there is no end.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And you don't even have stars to like sort of navigate by, right? So it's just blackness. It's like you're in some sort of limbo, like some sort of afterlife as you sort of float in the darkness. And you go for like 20 minutes, like just slowly moving across this massive fucking space.
Are there any other lights? Are there any other like small computer lights or large, even if it's black, large like shapes that we get adjacent enough to that we can kind of like see, like feel a silhouette, kind of thing?
Eventually you do. But just one last thing, and this is a good thing, so don't, you hear as you kind of move off into the distance, you can hear the thud banging every once in a while of the thing trying to break through. But eventually you don't know if it's because of the distance that you travel, because you lose all sense of time and space, or if it's just that the thing gave up, but that banging stops. Okay? But again, it's just so disorienting. Now, after about 20 minutes or so, you do end up seeing twinkling lights in the distance. You're in some sort of like weird, like drug state, you almost feel, because of how you've been traveling. So you kind of think, like, are those stars? Like, like what's going on? And then you're like, oh no, that's like electronics. And you're like, oh, we're coming up against the wall. So I assume you obviously keep going until you actually hit it, right? Okay, so you're still in complete darkness, but there's just sort of like these blinking lights that you saw that were similar to sort of the lights that were emanating from the machines way back on the other side of the room. And so
Are they similar at all to the server racks that we saw in the server rooms?
No, only in their lack of ability to sort of understand what they do, right?
Yeah,
but they are sort of like that in that their regularity, that it appears to be the same sort of thing repeated multiple times, but they're much more massive than like the human scale sort of server boxes that were in those simulation suites. Okay, like huge banks of very complicated electronics and motherboards that are sort of safely ensconced behind steel protective boxes and stuff like that. And it just goes up as far as the eye can see, which is not very far for you.
We smack into it, or we see it approaching, or
yeah, you're not going to break anything, but you're now up against that wall.
Okay, so are there any kind of like handholds or carabiner rings or anything like that service people would be using here? If there's electronics here, someone's got to come maintain them, right? So is there like a set of rings or like ladder handles or anything around here that someone would use to get here?
Yeah, I would say so, probably. And even if there wasn't, that there's enough like jutting pieces of mechanics that you could easily clamber over things. So
my point being, if there's a set of rings that are obviously for maintenance, they go somewhere, right? We follow the rings or the ladder or whatever, and it'll take us to the maintenance bay, or at very least like a spot where somebody's tools are kept or something.
Right.
So that's what I'm looking for.
So let's see. I'm gonna roll a chance thing here. Give me a second.
Sure.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. So handholds. That whole thing. Now, originally, David, you wanted to go up. Is that still what you want to do?
I think if the heat is emanating from the bottom and that's sort of like the coolant sort of methodology or whatever, right? Like then up is probably the safer bet. Yeah.
Makes sense to me. If this room has got huge capacitors in it,
Yeah.
being close to the capacitors sounds dangerous.
I agree.
Okay. So yeah, you make your way up. Again, it takes like a lot of time. Probably say about like another 10 minutes or so. We do need to stop here as well, but we'll leave it here. So you crawl up these handholds as far as you possibly can go. You go for about 10 minutes. Again, you're lighter than air, right? So you're moving pretty quickly up these things, right? Everything's like deathly quiet. So every footstep is sort of like ringing out. When you finally reach what appears to be a so the handholds basically go up through like a hatchway in a mesh floor, right? Mm-hmm. And that you go up, and that floor is just basically like a little balcony, like a little, standing platform, right? So you kind of come up through that, and in the wall is set. So when you set your feet down gently with the 0G on the ground, on the wall there is another bulkhead door.
All right.
There is a sign on it, very nondescript, that just says "Emergency Heat Sink."
Oh, interesting.
That sounds weird.
A heat sink is in case the whatever cooling system they have down below. That's probably going to prevent the capacitors from overheating.
I should say too, there's probably a warning sign near that sign that says gravity, like beware of like gravity beyond. You know what I mean? I don't know why I would say that, but yeah.
Well, why don't we cap the session by opening the door and gaining gravity again?
Okay, so you open the door. So it's a bulkhead door. It takes a little bit of time, but it is indeed open. And you enter in to it's another dark room, also extremely large. Okay, but you're immediately feel like the crushing weight of regular gravity sort of hits you as you set foot onto like a platform, and it's very similar in that it's like a small little platform that you can't really move too many places, but there is a gangway that kind of shoots off into the darkness. Remember, complete darkness. Okay, but it's a very 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 narrow gangway, completely open on the sides, but there are railings that you can hold on to. Mm-hmm. And let's see.
I will walk that way.
It's dark, so actually you can't really see anything, so I can't really give you any more descriptions, but it just kind of this gangway that just sort of goes off into darkness, right? But you have gravity.
I'm just going to hold the railing and continue communicating to make sure me and Hubble don't get disoriented, in the darkness.
You don't have a flashlight, David?
Nope. I do have cigarettes, and that could produce some amount of light, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll leave it there. So you're in some sort of huge, massive, dark room, but you have gravity, you have oxygen, and there's just a gangway going off into the darkness. And that appears to be the only path unless you go back the way that you came.
Nope, that's where we're going. Forward, onward into the void.
Okay, cool. All right. We will leave it there. A little bit over time, but that's okay.
Duo sessions. Yeah, baby. Always the best.
You did get a lot done, but a lot of trauma happened there as well. But I think that was run pretty pleasantly well. I think that it was cool.
If we were doing Feats of Exploration, we did more than 5 rooms, John. I just want you to know that.
It's true, yeah. Let's get some FOE in this bad boy. Yeah. So pour one out for Cromwell Dixon. He was memorable.
Cromwell Dixon.
He shall be. He shall be remembered fondly. Okay, so we'll leave it there. Thank you, everyone, for watching episode 8 of our Mothership Gradient Descent campaign. You've been watching and or listening to 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. If you enjoyed it, please do your solemn duty, which is to like and subscribe, spread the word, hit that bell icon to get notifications every time we publish new material on the YouTube. And if you have a few extra bucks per month, hook us up with a Patreon subscription at any paid tier level, get you access to our exclusive Patreon-only Return to Dolmenwood campaign, which is in full force now. And we also get access to special secret channels on our Discord server, which is otherwise open to all to come and enjoy. We've got a really great community of people active at all times of the day on that server. So please come and join us and come chat. And thank you, as always, to all of our patrons, our explorers, our delvers, and our conquerors. And, of course, 2 special shout-outs. One to our buddy here, David, for doing all of the overlay artwork and graphics and animation for this particular stream. This particular campaign, and to friend of the channel, Hellrude, aka Hank, who did the awesome music composition for the intro. So thank you, Hank, for that. And David has the distinct pleasure of reading The Conquerors tonight. Go for it, David.
All right, guys. Thank you. Let's start off with Sorcerius, Crayon Box, Oxian, Inhabitants Against Cabin Exploitation, Erica, David's Evil Twin, Dogleaf, Mike Butts, John Busick, Scott Fournier, Sophia Pang, Carl Stephenson, Necrotic Gnome, Derek B., Ted is my goat, Eric Manley, Todd Jeffcoat, Tyler Hackenberg, Christo Lute, Julian, Jofo, Brutes Monkey, Joshua Owens, The Mighty Martian, Christopher Bishop, Banana Hammock, AJ, Michael Sauer, Adam Lovelace, Desiree Marcel, Grizz Loves Games, Dustin Reedy, Benjamin, King of Zoops, Rock of Sages, Arcane Lane, MP, Todd, Hexbrawler Jake, Robert Kenyon, Steve, John Marino, Alan Barton, Robert Kirkland, Eric Tsunami MD, Samuel Dillon, Yesterday's Glory, Mike Small, Richard Barton. Huh? Oh, 2? No, wait, I thought I read that. Anyway, Isaac 2D10 plus 25 DTL Spencer, James Boyle, Ted the Tedding Teddy Bear, Doc Jones 73, Chris Laricella, Jackson Bates, John Hooker, Mordrew, Zachary Hall, Saps. Now it's time for the Davids. Papa Bear DM, Zach Shiflett, Mercury 605, Ruben K, Darger, Procyon, Dakota Nielsen, Cam, Stephen Casenberry, John and Law Logan, The Kabrowskis, Magic Meat Machine, Tom Leary, Phil, Trivalux Ghosts in the Machine, Nick, Eric Lawson. That's funny. Mando MZ, Boo Cheryl, what? Boo Shawareb. Jimbo WA, Ted Gast, James Doig, Nefarious Gamer, Grunt, Andrew Schroker, Adam and Nora, MM, Michael Schilling, Stefano DiMaio, oh my God, I'm sorry, Stefano, DiMaiello, Chongus, those ass Hexballer twins, Arno, Iona, Michael Walker, Mother of Romulus, Hand Dandler, Summon Toast, Too Rude to Ishvan, R. Cabral, Dungeon Heart Adam, Scott Yearsley, Mech Jack, Kick Maniac, Dire Grew, Tom Eric Gerritsen, Matthew Mattis, and last but not least, inferior to the Davids, but we love you anyway. Matthew Mattis, Mads the Danish Matt, Honorary Matt, Matt Walsh, Matt Mason, Matt Koenig, and Matt Young. Thank you so much, guys. It means the world to us.
Yep, and he just missed one name, but I want to make sure that we give everyone their due. Ash Gabrielle, thank you as well.
My bad.
It's okay. Just want to make sure that we get all the names. So yes, thank you to all of our patrons. We really do appreciate it. And everyone have a great week, and we will see you next time. Take care.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.